can reach how and be connected to strengthening activities that would support ecosystems. So thank you all very much for all we are doing to support Rotary and Environmebt Engineer magic all of us. Our call to action is to protect the planet, and I hope you. So thank you all for joining, and by way of update, our meeting is now being called to order. Our meeting is being called to order. Please let's minimize the interaction with our phones and keep our devices muted if we are not connected to speak. That's so enough us to have one session. So thank you all very much. By way of updates, our meeting is being called to order, and we will take the usual activity for today. So if you are joining us for the first time, we are super excited to have you join our call for women in Rotary and a community of women with the common purpose of enhancing our experience. We do have a creating opportunities for women all over the world to expand our professional network, our vocational capacity, and personal network. So we are able to experiment with learning, development, friendship, and service in Rotary 7 area of focus. We talk about peace building and conflict prevention. We talk about economic and community development, disease prevention and treatment, water sanitation and hygiene, basic education and literacy, maternal and child health, as well as the environment. So thank you all very much. Our meeting is now being called to order on behalf of myself, on behalf of the board of directors for Women in Rotary, on behalf of our community advisor, who is the Patriotry International Director of WIRI, and all coordinators all over the world and all the rest. We invite you to our April Women in Rotary International Virtual Meeting. At this point, we want to start our meeting by saying the Rotary prayer song. The Rotary prayer song. May I invite Rotary Pretty to take us through the prayer. Can you unmute and help us recite the Rotary prayer song? Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, please unmute. Please unmute.
Baptista, do you want us to read the Rotary prayer song?
So return please unmute.
Baptista, it's completely blank. We can't hear you.
Can you take the prayer song? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, I'll read the Rotary prayer song.
Thank you.
I request everyone to read the Rotary prayer song with me. Inspire Rotarians, Lord, we ask to live as we profess, to dignify the daily task and serve in selflessness. For fellowship which here we share, we offer thanks to Thee. We pray that it will be our care to spread it bounteously. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. So the following terms of the things we think or do. 1. Is it a truth? 2. Is it factual concern? 3. Would it build goodwill and beneficial to all concerned. Fellow attendants, we thank the guests on the floor. The four-way tree of the things the things say of dreamland provided by the four-way test. Thank you. For the code of conduct, the Rotary code of conduct, the come on the call, Rotary for me to take us through the Rotary code of conduct. Please unmute and take the Rotary code of conduct.
Baptista, your voice is still breaking a lot.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'll read the Rotarian Code of Conduct. I request everyone to repeat it with me. I will act with integrity and high ethical standards in my personal and professional life, deal fairly with others and treat them and the occupations with respect, use my professional skills through Rotary to mentor young people, help those with special needs, and improve people's quality of life in my community and in the world. Avoid behavior that reflects adversely on Rotary or other Rotarians. I would also like to introduce our speaker, Gaurav Anand. Gaurav Anand is a seasoned environment professional with 25 plus years of experience. Gaurav Anand drives sustainability and environmental conservation at Tata Steel Utilities and Infrastructure Services Limited. He led initiatives in plastic, plastic tar road, biogas, smart city, LOT, TPM quality and waste management. Gaurav's notable achievements include converting water hyacinth into paper, yarn, and leather, empowering self help group members. He is also the founder of Swachhta Pukare, a citizen movement promoting mass cleaning and awareness initiatives. He participated in the Mission Ganges expedition led by Ms. Bachendri Pal in 2018. As curator of TEDx Bistapur, Gaurav hosted 49 changemakers, providing a platform for innovators to share ideas. His expertise spans environmental management, sustainability, and community engagement. Gaurav's work drives positive environmental impact and promotes sustainability. With dedication to environmental stewardship and responsible business practices, Gaurav Anand is a leader in sustainability. His innovative approaches and commitment to creating a better world makes him a respected professional. As a passionate volunteer, Gaurav follows an innovative approach to simplify complex problems with excellent team building skills. His work inspires positive change and promotes a more sustainable future. Additionally, he has been recognized with the Prime Minister's Point of Light Award for his community services, and he has also been awarded at various places and platforms for his work in the field of environment conservation. Mr. Gaurav Anand, we welcome you again, and we request you to take over from here, and we are waiting for your enlightening talk.
Thank you so much, Preeti ji, for inviting me. And can you make me host so that I can share my slides?
We already made you a co host. You are a co host.
But co-host can
Yeah, you
co-host
can
as well.
share. Yes, yes, you can.
I just okay. Yeah. So hope this is visible. Slides.
Yes, it is visible.
Just 1 minute.
Can you put it in a presentation mode?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you.
So before starting, I would like to share some of the uh, glimpses of what we do. So good evening, everyone. My name is Gaurav Anand, and I'm honored to be here today representing the Swachhata Pukare Foundation, where we believe that the transformation, uh, just to be precise, environmental transformation, it is not a distant dream. It's a responsibility we can start owning today. So over the past few years, we have seen environmental challenges multiply around us, like polluted rivers, choking uh, drains, shrinking green spaces, deforestation. So the reality is traditional methods like which we apply nowadays that alone cannot keep up. So we must rethink, redesign, and re-engineer the way we live with nature. So environmental re-engineering, today's topic, is it actually simply means using innovation, community action, and smart technology so that the solution which is there, it is practical, scalable, and affordable for all. So these solutions not only strengthen our planet for the future, but also improves the economic condition of the self-help group members or the women we work with. So you don't need to be an engineer to re-engineer the environment. You just need to be willing to do that. So today I would like to share few practical strategies or things that are already working and which we have already experimented, and that will show us how re-engineering the environment can be simple, impactful, and also affordable for everyone. So just taking you through the presentation. Uh, so why re-engineering is needed? As I talked about the problems, challenges, bottlenecks in the society, that nowadays we are having so many pollutions like water, waste, soil, everything is polluted and contaminated. These are the biggest problem we are facing nowadays in the climate era. The traditional models, like whichever we used to solve it by the ancestral wisdom without using any technology, now that cannot be, now that cannot work. Along with that, we need to have some technological intervention so that we get a solution which can reverse the climate change. So starting from here, like I'll not go uh, far back, just taking a clue from 2018. I was part of a team, a 40 members team, which was selected for an expedition in Gange, Mission Gange, it was named. And we traversed from Haridwar to Patna. It was a 1525-kilometer waterway, and we rafted throughout the 1525 kilometers, and we came across 9 cities on the way, and we stopped at all the cities, cleaned the river, like with the teams of locals, then the team with the from the academia, government authorities, like we involved all the stakeholders we could have. And then after 1 month of the expedition, we went back to our workplace. That time I was working with Tatas. And just coming back from the this thing, the Mission Gange, we also had a river in Jamshedpur. So we started cleaning river every Sunday without fail. So we have already done more than 500 plus river cleanup drives. And as you can see, we uh, these are the pictures of the ghats where we involve all the stakeholders. And throughout the year, we see that the river faces different challenges. Sometimes the challenge the river faces is due to the idle immersion. Sometimes there are water hyacinths present in the water body. Sometimes, like people go and throw waste over there. So every time it has a seasonal variation in the problems the river faces. So we did multiple activities. Like we also went to the market where people purchase their goods from, and we uh, trained them, hand-holded them not to throw these garbages in the water bodies, how to keep the water bodies away from the pollution. We trained them, we like hand-holded them. Also, when we saw that so many people come to the river ghat just to dump their household waste, like whichever they think is of no use to them. So we learned how to make compost out of it first, and then we also involved them. We trained them how to make compost at home, and they replicated those efforts. While cleaning the river, we also found that there are so many places, locations along the river, which is actually uh, which is actually deforested. There is hardly any tree left there. So we started planting trees, then also using seed balls to uh, because seed balls are fun to throw and it is very easy to grow. Water hyacinth in the fifth one you can see. This is also one of the initiative which we'll share in the upcoming slides. And this you can see the last one is the picture which shows a wall made of plastic bottles. And these plastic bottles were collected from the river ghats, and we filled the slag, which is a steel industry waste, inside that uh, plastic bottle. And this is, we have placed it in 2 or 3 places in our city. Uh, like we have also taken the license from TED under the name of TEDx Bistupur. And TEDx Bistupur, we have already uh, hosted 4 events. Uh, and this was just recently, like the 12th of April 2025, we had our 4th event, and we have already hosted more than 45 speakers till date. And these speakers are from different fields like environment, technology, design, art and craft. And we actually, as you know, that uh, TED has a diversified field where they invite these speakers from. So this is one of the areas, like we get the ideas from the change makers and we try to replicate some of them in our city. Solar is also one of the initiatives which we are doing in our cities and the nearby places. And the left one is the first solar plant which we had done in one of the schools in Jamshedpur, which is St. Mary's School. Initially, were they had a bill of 1.8 lakh rupees a month. Now they are having zero bill. The next to that, it is a different kind of solar pergola, which is completely weatherproof. So we experimented everything in the solar uh, area, whichever was possible from our foundation. Also, we worked in the field of wastewater treatment, where we saw that the wastewater which we nowadays uh, uh, which come out from our houses actually pollute and contaminate the groundwater, and we are not able to do anything. But when we extract that water from the ground, we get the polluted water to drink, which is very sad. So we also we worked with one of the companies from Japan, that is Daiki. This methodology is called Jokasu, and Jokasu in Japanese is purification. So we have partnered with them, collaborated with them, and we have already implemented few of them. And recently, one of the projects of 50,000 liter per day capacity is in the progress. Also, few of the projects like which I would like to share with you. One is Plastic Road, which I was part of this project when I was part of the Tata Steel Utilities. This project was done in the year 2010. Also, we had so many experiments where we used waste to convert into something. And the top picture in the B, you see we have a bottle in our hand that is actually biodiesel which was actually made from the waste edible oil. Also, there in the picture where I'm mixing something to a solution, that is actually we are making one liquid which actually keeps the uh, uh, pest away from the plant. Next one is the C1. C is a biogas which was set up in my balcony. And this was there for 3 years. And I used to borrow waste from my neighbors. And we used to go completely the LPG gas free solution at our home. This is seed ball. The D is seed ball. Seed ball is a very, here also we had collaborated with some of the village women where we uh, uh, gave them the idea and involved them to make these seed balls, and we gave them money uh, on behalf of this and sold all these seed balls to the corporates so that they can give it to their employees, and then employees, while they are on the holiday, they can throw it on the riverside, on any other wetland side. The picture E is actually when we saw that people were not stopping uh, the waste dumping into the river, we made a kund, we made a small place which was named as Astha Kund. Astha is like, it is related to your belief system and all. So people, whoever who used to come to the river just to dump their waste, we told them that you just touch the waste from the water with the water, and then you can put it here. And from here, the municipal corporation takes it away. The last one is one of the recognitions which we had, that is the complete presentation, which will come later, where we have worked for the water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is a big menace around the globe, not only in India. So how did we arrive at a solution? We'll be talking about it in some time. So just sharing some of the very basic ways, how did we identify the bottlenecks, challenges, and how did we work on that? So when I was in company, when I was working with Tatas, the last assignment which I was like handling was TPM. TPM is a methodology from Japan, and they make things very simple. They identify problems and they divide those problems in two categories. One is red and another one is white. Red problem is where you need help from others. I'll give you an example. And white are those which you can fix yourself. I'll give you an example of a bulb or a fan. So if you have a bulb not working, you can change the bulb by yourself. This is a white tag. And if your fan is not working, you need to call electrician for that. So where you need help from someone, that is a red tag. So we identify so many red tags, white tags, as far as city management, environment, waste management, water management, soil pollution, air pollution, everything is concerned. And we made a very big list. I have actually shown a very small list over here. Open defecation, poor air quality. And nowadays, these all problems are actually omnipresent everywhere. Apart from few cities in the world, few smart cities, I'll say, these problems are very rampant and available everywhere. So all these problems, I have selected just one problem, water hyacinth, which I have highlighted just to share with you, like how did we arrive at a solution, which is now a game changer for the women, and how have we changed the economic status of 2,500 families just in 3 years. You'll be surprised to know that. So it starts from here. We collect the water hyacinth from the water bodies. Very simple. It can have many different methodologies. It can have like mechanized extraction of water from water body. It can have manual extraction from water body. So we also, as you can see in the first picture, we are using a volleyball net. It is basically a discarded volleyball net where we have chained 4 discarded volleyball nets into one, and then we made it like a conveyor, and then we took the water hyacinth out from the water body. So this was some smart work by the team, whoever used to come for river cleaning. And then after it is extracted from the water body, what we do, there are two parts. One is the leafy part, and the another one is the roots. And in between there is a stem, which you can see in the picture in between, the middle one. So just remove the leaf and the roots. So you remain with the uh, stem. Then these stems are so useful. You'll just see in the next few slides. So these stems are sun dried, and sun dried for 7 days, 6 days, depending on when it turns this brownish and all. And you will be surprised to know that by doing that, we actually convert that into papers. And this is the fourth picture in the fourth quadrant, is a paper made out of it. And we have involved so many women from different parts of the country, like almost 7 to 8 states we are working with the women. And we train them, we handhold them, how can they make different items from it. And the design, you can see, it is all made by them. We just give them the clue, this is for you, this is the gum, this is the Caesar. Now just be creative and do whatever you want to do. So there's so many designs, there's so many items we made out of it, are the result of their imagination. So you can see we have made lampshades, we have made the bags, and when we saw that it also contains some fiber-like thing, so we started exploring that, and we converted that into fiber. So from paper to fiber, and from fiber, we also converted that into leather. So this is the fusion sari which we made in 2023 Jan, as you can see. And you can also find this sari on Google and everywhere. And this is actually last year we had like Inner Wheel team from Delhi. They had ordered 150 saris, and wearing those saris, they had done a ramp walk in Delhi, all 150 women together. So that was a great moment for us. Also, like as I've mentioned, that the future is not just about repairing, it's about reimagining smarter and greener ways of living. And I think that will be the last slide, or maybe there will be a slide after that. So these are a few of the items which we make from water hyacinth. You'll be very happy to know that the bud-like thing in the like in the third quadrant, it is actually a very new innovation which we have just done 3 days back. Basically, this is a packaging material where we have cut the stems into smaller pieces, and those pieces can be used for packaging the like fragile items, glasses and everything, like, and it can change the scenarios of packaging, you know, where we use thermocols and different types of plastics to do that. So this is one thing like which is very easy to do. Anybody can do that. As you can see, the notebooks, file and folders, pen stand, uh, then, and these are the leather products, like leather products. You can see here in the fourth one, laptop bag. Then this is a carry bag for women. And then this is iPad bag and all. So these are all materials which we have been able to make from water hyacinth in just 2.5 years. And so how can we all contribute on this? So if you see that if we segregate waste at home, smaller ways, it can be our contribution for the government, our society, community, everywhere. How can we support renewable energy? Like, we don't need to just put it in our home. Also, we can tell people that this is affordable, doable. Earlier, it was very costly, but now you can do it. There are so many cleanup drives and river plantation drives going on in your city. You can be part of that cleanup drive. You can be part of that tree plantation drives. Educate and inspire others. And as the tagline of Swachhata Pugare Foundation says, Atma Yatto Vriddhi Vinasho, which in English translates to destruction or development that lies in our hand. So in Waste to Wealth, what we saw that we looked at the invasive water hyacinth, which clogged river and lakes. Instead of treating it as a problem, we turned it into an opportunity, empowering rural women to create beautiful, sustainable products from it. And one small change, this reengineering, a waste plant into a wealth resource, created jobs, cleaned ecosystems, and uplifted entire communities. Also, when we take the solar into account, we saw that a single rooftop turned into a powerhouse of sustainability, showing how local reengineering can light up futures. When we started river cleanup drive, the Mission Swarn Rekha, and we found that rivers are not just water bodies, they are lifelines. And with the small interventions by each and every individuals, whoever participates or want to contribute, with a decentralized treatment, cleanups, community education, we can bring the river back to life. How we use the technology driven solutions for a bigger impact. Imagine if every home, every school could treat its own wastewater, which we do from the Jocasso treatment plant, or without needing costly affairs. That's the real empowerment which can be done through re-engineering. So the power of collaboration, all these strategies have one thing in common, and that is people. Government, foundation, business, and most importantly, communities. Everyone has a role in this reimagining what we earlier said about how can you participate in cleanups, how can you educate one another, how can we support renewable energy, how can we segregate waste. So the future is not about repairing the broken systems alone. It's about re-engineering smarter, greener, and a more inclusive ones. And together we can. Thank you so much for your time. And I invite each one of you to join Swachhata Pukare or start your own journey of reimagining our environment. And if you have time, I can just share one video, which I think I'll have this thing on that. So do we have time? If it is
Okay, so you can be looking for the video. Thank you so much. That's a very beautiful presentation. So one activity we intend getting our members to be able to get hands-on service project initiatives put together. So once you look for that video, I hope it's just a few minutes, just so we are able to get a number of our attendees to ask questions to help them relate to the topic. So, Mr. Guran, assuming we have a club in any part of the world, get access to a community of women, and they would want to put together practical service project initiatives. So these are things we would love you to help us put together. If a community identifies, let's say, a waterway, a seaway, or a community where there is a lot of waste which can be put together to produce a lot of these paper bags and things, the question now comes in, what are the practical ways they can go about it? How would they start the whole process or initiative? What is the first step? What becomes the second activity? That way, so that anyone leaving this meeting can say, after joining this meeting, I can now own up and plan a practical service project activity that would help my club to re-engineer imagine the environment and help protect environmental stewardship. So practical solutions in few minutes that could help us. How do we start the whole process? After getting access to the waste, what becomes the second thing?
So, taking your question, like as we identified problems in one of the slides, I mentioned that you identify all the challenges, all the problems your city or the area faces, and then select if you have suppose selected the water hyacinth problem, and then you want to do something out of it. So the first step would be identification of water bodies which has water hyacinth in it. The second step would be like involving the people from the villages who can extract those water hyacinth from the water body. Next step would be like drying it on their roofs, and then the part will come from our side, which will be training, how to involve them to make the different items like notebooks. So we actually train them to make notebooks. Leather and the yarn part comes little ahead, which we do not involve them in initial level.
Okay.
Today we bring you a story that turns a problem
Can
into
you
a solution,
just
one
see this?
that blossoms from the
Yes,
village
we can hear you.
in
Okay.
West
We
Bengal.
can hear.
Meet
Okay.
Gaurav, Anand and the Swachhata Pukare Foundation, where water hyacinths, a hazardous pollutant
We
present in
can't
water
see
bodies,
the video.
We
transform
can see
into
the
unique
video. Please, can you
handloom
tilt
saris.
it in a bit?
Gaurav, an environmental engineer turned
So can you see the
innovator,
video?
embarked on this journey
Yes,
to
we
Yeah,
can see
now we
now.
can see
Thank
the
you.
video, but you need to
sustainable livelihoods
maximize it.
families.
I have maximized
Join
it.
us to
Just
know
wait
more
me.
about this eco-friendly initiative that fuses environmental consciousness with fashion, making waves of change.
हम लोग वाटर वेस्ट एयर सॉइल और एनर्जी में काम करते हैं while cleaning the river we found that it is getting polluted with water hyacinth. The dissolved oxygen level deteriorates very fast. The aquatic life goes away. मैं पेशे से environmental engineer था और मेरा environment में काफी passion भी था. स्वच्छता पुकारे का विजन है फॉर अ क्लीनर ग्रीनर एंड अ हेल्दियर फ्यूचर फॉर एवरीवन. तो इसमें ये वाटर का भी हिस्सा है, वाटर हाइसिंथ का इनिशिएटिव.
The video is paused.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe whilst you attend to those technical challenges,
from the extraction of water hyacinth from the water body. अगर धागा बनाना है तो उसी समय हमको प्रोसेस करना पड़ता है, उसको डिकॉर्टिकेट करना पड़ता है.
So I'll share that video with all of you. Yes.
okay.
Yes, you can
So
share
you
the
can
link.
set
मेन पिलर में से एक है कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट. तो लाइवलीहुड और इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस के लिए ये बहुत बड़ी.
Yeah. So now I'm like ready for any type of question from the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So the floor is open for questions, but we want to thank you for helping us pick up the practical steps. You first talk about identification of a water body, just recapping to be sure we got it correct, and then involvement of the village that we would have to dry and then work on the training bits, which we would be glad if there could be some support because you're already into that initiative, so we don't reinvent the wheel. But whilst we wait for other community members to ask questions, how can the environmental reengineering efforts be scaled up to address global sustainability changes? What are some of the engineering efforts we can scale up so we are able to address sustainability challenges globally? Because with most of these initiatives, it's one thing starting, but the ability to continue doing that over a longer period of time to ensure that we are achieving change the right way.
So it's a very deep question you have asked, and to answer that, what I would like to share that we quite often think of environment in silos. Like somebody is expert of waste management, he or she will
Okay.
talk about waste only. Somebody is expert of water, he or she will talk about water. But in my opinion, the like as we work, Swachhata Pukare works in the 5 components of environment, that is waste, water, air, soil, and energy. So if you look back, that 100 years from now, the waste which was getting generated, actually, if you compare that with today's scenario, it's actually 5 times, 6 times more. So if you take a picture from the moon of the earth, after few years, you'll find all the cities are filled up with the landfills everywhere. Everywhere waste is accumulated. And like in the past years, it was not there. We used to have all sustainable means of uh, taking care of our waste. Like all the kitchen waste and vegetable waste used to be consumed by the animals we had in our house, the pets. Plastics were not there. All the papers, newspapers, that time also we used to give it to the hawkers in 10 rupees or 5 rupee a kg, and nowadays we also do that. So the waste which has got value can be sold to someone who it for someone it can be resource for. Same goes for water. Like if we work for the water and the wastewater, we can we can solve so many challenges. So taking care of water, waste, soil, air, and energy together holistically will give us a time, will take us to a time where we can think that yes, we are in the process of reversing this climate change and global warming. But if
Thank you so
just
much.
yeah, but if you think
Thank you
the
so much.
silos, that will not be done.
Yeah. So we realize you are doing a lot when it comes to the cleanliness of the water bodies. So let's assume a club has identified the water body. They are willing to move to the next stage, which is involve the community to do a cleanup. Now, the most practical things we want to find out, how are you able to know how deep that water is? Because I saw most of you were in the water bodies trying to clean up. What are the practical ways to assess the deepness of the water? Because we can't just assume it's shallow where people get in and perhaps they get drowned. So if you could provide a little bit of awareness and education on that, we'll be very glad. Thank you.
So safety in the hygiene part, we take care, and we actually during the monsoon and all, we don't like tell our members to go inside the water. This is the summer season, that's why we are actually, you can see us inside the water body. So the people who actually get involved in cleaning water bodies by going inside the water, actually they are swimmers, and we only allow them to go to the water bodies. So the water bodies which we are taking care of, it is being done since last 6 years, and we know each and every part of that particular water body, wherever that problem deepness and all we can have problem with. So this can be we can have a SOP for that, like what all things need to be done while coming to river ghats, and if the team wants to join, what all should they have with them, like gloves, then the sacks and the collection bag, and then some tools of their choices which can remove or take out some garbage from the water body. So you can start that. So initial few months, you can just guide your team not to go inside the water body. Once they are familiar with that particular water body, some of them who is quite compatible with the swimming and the other things, they can be allowed to go there. So if you have swimmers in your team, then if sometimes some mishappenings take place, you can you can have the help from them, and which can save you.
Okay, thank you very much. From the community, few questions came up. You've addressed some of them. We would want to take the third question. So what are some effective strategies we can use, assuming we want to reduce pollution in the waterways? And how can we improve the water quality in our various communities? Because, water is life. Maybe we would want to pick the third question due to time. If you could help us with some practical strategies we could look at as well.
Yeah. So informing the citizens about the water quality which they are having is not good for them is like through some uh, IEC things, information, education, and communication pattern. Like I remember one of the instance from Melbourne in 1993. They were actually having some water issues in their country, and suddenly there was a drought, and they were remained with just 30% of the water which they had. So what they did, in all the billboards, they, in the digital systems and all, they just uh, like mentioned there, they just put a hoarding there that your city is remaining with just 30% of the water. So the water you consume now, like initially at that was 200 liters per capita per day. And after that, when the people looked at that news, like it was less than 50 liter per capita per day till the problem was not solved. So it is all about communicating people about the problem, how, like we also use that air quality monitoring stations in almost every cities around the globe. So we see that the particulate matters is this, the carbon monoxide concentration is this much. So looking at that, we take care of ourselves, like whether we need to use the mask, or whether it is safe or moderate or good for us to walk. So all these, if it is made public, all the informations about the water quality, air quality, soil quality, then I guess like people will be able to take some actions as per their convenience and their capacity. So first of all, people should know that the problem.
Thank you very much. How come our women join the training and benefits? How can they join the training so they know how to turn the waste into the various artifacts and paraphernalia that have been put together? How can we join the training from different countries? So if we have this information, we can share it to the community and get them enrolled into the practical training session.
So like at present, we are working with some of the corporates as a CSR partner, where they fund us and we identify the women in the group. Like in some places we have 60 women, in some places we have 30 women, and in some places we have 15, between 15 to 20. So depending on the number of women, the ability, capability, and the other acumen, artist acumen and all, we identify them and we choose them to make the products which is like suitable for them and which they can handle, which they can make. So if you identify a group, then what we can do, we can handhold them. And if they are, outside India, what we can do, we can involve them in some online classes. And I'm sure that by going through that online classes also, they'll be able to do something good out of that waste, water hyacinth or any different kind of waste.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I wanted to know that if we want to, like, according to what you just said, if we want to make a model of this whole project, because WIRI is also about this platform WIRI where we are having this meeting. It is about growth of women, empowering women, and professional growth of women also. So this project that you have just informed us about the waste management, hyacinth management, And so this can be converted into a very good sustainable project where we can empower women and focus on their growth also, and the environment obviously is the factor is there. So we want to change this into a proper project wherein we can have a proper framework and we can replicate it in different clubs in different countries, or our members wherever they are. So we want to do that. How can we go about it? Can we, a short, the clubs who want to do this project can come forth and they can maybe shortlist a few women or any member back there whom we can train online, make a group from different clubs, train them online, and then they can train the community over there or self help groups over there. So can we do something of this sort? Is this possible?
So this can be started with the identification of water bodies. Suppose there is a water body completely filled up with water hyacinth, then the women from that village will be eager to join, because the raw materials are abundantly available there. They don't have to go to any other places to take that water hyacinth as a raw material. And also, when we see that the finished product which is made by the women actually will not have that quality which is sellable on the online platforms like Flipkart, Amazon, and all, because of the quality. So, in the initial stage, the quality may not be that good. I'll just give you an example. I shared one picture of a paper. So what we do, the first step they are able to make is they convert that into paper. So what we do, we give them a target, like give us 100 papers to a small group of 3 or 4 women. Give us a 100 papers, and we will pay you 2,000 rupees just in one day. You just think 3 women earning 2,000 rupees in a day, and that we have done so many times. And now I'm very happy to share that some of the members are earning 10,000 plus a month, and they have been earning since last 1.5 years by making notebooks, by making files and folders, utility boxes, pen stand, and many other items.
Thank
I'm
you
just
very much.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, apart from
For
the
purposes of
yarn and
time,
yeah, perfect.
sorry, for purposes of time, we would want to take it here. So fellow attendees on the call today will share updates to the community as well. Please feel free to drop in your phone numbers, preferably your WhatsApp numbers and your emails, just so we are able to share updates when we reach an agreement with our guest speaker and his team to help as many clubs, as many women who would want to pick this up as an empowerment to create service project initiatives as of this, just so we can also promote biodiversity in our community and help change the narrative our own way. Feel free to drop in your numbers in the chat, your WhatsApp, your full name, your club, your WhatsApp, and then email, just so we would be able to reach out very easily to you to provide more updates. Thank you so much, speaker, for today. Let's find out if there are any further questions from the community. Are there any further questions?
Yeah, Baptista, there are a couple of queries in the chat group. One person has mentioned that if this PPT can be shared on WhatsApp, please. And someone else has mentioned that they are interested in some of the projects that Mr. Gaurav has just shared and they want to take it further and want to have further discussions for it. So, how can they reach him?
Okay, so we'll facilitate that as a community. All interested persons, share your details just so we harmonize that as one activity and get the information shared. So if you are interested in the slide, you are interested to join the platform, share your details in the chat. The WIRI Service Project community will reach out. The director will manage that and will share one concise information to everyone so that clubs, community zones, districts that would want to pick it up We'll have one harmonized information managing sort of everybody reaching out to our guest speaker. That would not be a well-coordinated way to manage that. So thank you so much. Maybe let's pick up to see if there are further questions. We want to be sure we've answered everyone's question today. Do we have any further questions from our attendees or anything else in the chat? Great. So that tells you a lot has been exhausted. And yes, so I see people dropping their information. Please feel free to drop that just so we are able to reach out to you. We can't exhaust all the questions in short minutes of our presentation. And these are practical things we need to get people to sit to understand the framework, to understand the processes that goes into getting these things put together. And in the training, we would ensure that your clubs benefit. This is how we recreate empowerment for our countries, for our clubs, for our districts. And we want to thank you for joining our meetings. Without much ado, would want to ask if there is any attendee who also has some contributions to share, to do that briefly in just some few seconds so we can move on to the next agenda of the day. If there are anything, please unmute and you can ask your questions. Any further contributions? Great. So I don't see any hands raised up. I don't see any hands raised.
Baptista, there are no further questions, but members want to have further discussions with the speaker today. So maybe what I can do is I will schedule a meeting with them, with Mr. Gaurav, so they can, have the discussions that they want.
Yeah,
The
so
projects that they want to have.
whilst we have their details, that is where we share this information also with them, just so we are sure they all benefit. We'll still put it on our community platform and get as many of you attendees today to be able to benefit from all this information. So thank you all so much for joining our sessions today. We want to thank you all for the time. It is a bit difficult sometimes, a cozy weekend where you should be cruising with the family, taking it easy after a heavy week's work, joining a virtual meeting, but you asked for it and we have given that to you. Most felt we put in the meeting on a weekend, we'll grant you the opportunity to join from the comfort of your homes. We are super excited and grateful to all the technical team members behind the scenes, coordinators and board members. We know a lot is happening. People are traveling all over for this activities in different countries all over. And here in Ghana, people are even now reaching out to their homes from Takrady. Thank you all for joining. And this is how we would want to bring the curtains to an end and allow us to fellowship properly again after the session. So those who would want to jump off the call officially knows the session has come to an end. Pretty, do you have any announcement from the Service Project Committee for us?
Not yet, but we are going to have a meeting for upcoming projects. And I'll announce about it pretty soon, this week itself.
Okay, thank you. So please get yourself onto the community platform if you are not there. That is where we share all the announcements and activities. Now, on behalf of our community, on my own behalf as the chair and the board members, our community advisors, we would want to thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule today to join us for the Women in Rotary meeting for April 2025. Watch next month, something big, something very interesting, something very exciting is coming your way, and you just can't afford to miss that. A lot more people are doing wonderful things, are getting discovered. You can join our chat just so you learn how to get empowered, practical solutions, practical tools, practical ways you can also enhance your visibility. So this is how we draw curtains on it. Officially, our meeting is brought to an end today, and we would want to open up the chats and moments for fellowship. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Really very interesting.
Thank you.
Good
So
night, ma'am.
officially, our meeting comes to an end. Officially.